Hey guys, today is February 29th. It's a leap year. Oh my goodness. I was feeling especially glamorous today, and I'm working out in the greenhouse, of course, and I thought I would bring you out with me and show you what it is that I'm up to. I just came out. Oh my God, I look so glamorous. It's been a day of it already. I just came out to see, you know, what was happening out here. I brought my peppers out earlier this morning so they can warm up in the greenhouse, and the container got very, very, very warm. So be careful if you're putting your stuff out. Even though it's only 30 degrees outside, it was 95 in the greenhouse. And my pepper, I sowed my peppers. You'll see that in another video. And they're still, I think it was 2 days ago, and the soil needs to get nice and warm. So you just have to be careful. If you leave it in an unventilated greenhouse, they can get a little bit too warm. So there was no crisis. I took it in the house and it cooled off nicely, but the soil got that hit of warmth, and now I'll keep it in the house because peppers don't need really light to germinate, but they do need warmth. So, but anyway, the reason for today's video is I am potting up brassicas that I started on January 9th, and I just started mixing the soil that I was going to put them into, and I started taking them out of the pot, and I saw how beautiful the root structure is. So I wanted to show you what it was that they look like before I pot them up. Now, I'm not going to put my brassicas outside for a few weeks. I'll keep an eye on the weather, and you know, broccolis and kale and things like that, they can take the cold, but you really don't want them out in like deep freeze, you know what I mean? So I'm going to still put like a frost cover over them, but at least they'll be outside in a few weeks. For now, they're going to live on the floor in the greenhouse, but I'm going to pot them up, and if it's too warm in here, I'll actually take them outside around the greenhouse, because I'm putting them in portable containers for now. And then at night, I'll just bring them in here on the floor. But anyway, look at the kale that I started. I'm starting with kale, and I want to show you what mix I'm using for potting up. So I'm just using these little elongated containers from the dollar store, and I like keeping my kale in particular in these because I can move it all around. And the kale grows well in these containers, really, really well. And it's easier to isolate them with netting, so you can prevent, you know, the cabbage worms and everything from hitting it, and the harlequin beetles too early in the year. Now, I'm going to add a little bit of perlite to this, but this is basically the Miracle-Gro potting, organic potting soil. And I'm mixing in some blood meal and some worm castings to this. And then I'm going to just, you know, put my kale in here and leave it in here until I'm ready to move it around. If I think it gets too big, I can pot it into one of the beds, or I can just leave it in here and do another succession sowing. But right now I'm growing scarlet kale. Scarlet kale is tricky to germinate. So I did 2 squares. Only one germinated. Again, this was January 9th. So I'm just going to put this in and let it grow with this beautiful red Russian kale. This is doing really, really well in its starters. So it wants to grow. So I'm going to get it into the container. I'm going to take one out here and show you the roots. Wow, so look at this. So this is the scarlet kale. I'm going to have to start more. The one root actually jumped over into the other cells mixed in with the red Russian, but wow, look at that. This was definitely ready to be potted up. Wow, look at the roots on the red Russian. Really gorgeous. Oh, I cannot wait to have this. You can do so many things with kale. It's so good for you. There's so many micronutrients in it. And even if you don't like the flavor of it, just cooked up, you know, or the basic way that people, you know, will try to mix kale if you don't like the texture or the taste. If you add it as a microgreen into a normal salad, mixed in with some eggs or into a smoothie, the health benefits, you know, it's so worth it. The micronutrients in these types of, you know, when they're at microgreen stage in these tiny leaves are just so well worth consuming. And after you start to eat it after a while, you actually you start to really like it. I'm telling you, I didn't like this kind of stuff before, but now I have to have it. So I actually started a bunch of stuff on January 9th that's doing incredibly well. I really like the looks of this Yadfa Chinese broccoli that I got as a freebie from Baker Creek. Now, I had a cell in here that I couldn't see because I was growing so much stuff already. I'll just add some more seeds because it grew so easily, and I really love the color of the stems, and supposedly it's really delicious, so I'm going to try some more of that. Over here we have green cauliflower. It looks like only 3 of the cells germinated, but it's okay because again I can do another one. Over here I have a Waltham broccoli, and it looks like all 4 germinated. The Diciccio, or the Diciccio, I say, broccoli. We got three cells out of the 4. More kale. I have the Lacinato Dino Kale, blue curled Scotch, the Nero di Toscano, and Dazzling Blue. I always grow these varieties, you guys, and you can see how easy they are to get started. Kale is really delicious. You can taste the flavor of the different varieties and the differences in them. The Dino Kales, I really love them. They do get, you know, a leathery texture once the leaves get really big and fully mature. And I'll tell you, the one that, for me, that suffers the worst with pest pressure is the blue curled Scotch. But I really love it. And so do the cabbage looper worms. They like to live in it when it gets really big and really densely curly. Over here, I have some Brussels sprouts. And it looks like I have germination in all, well, nope, I only got germination of 1 red rhubarb, but that's okay because I've just been having problems with brassicas. I've been having problems with Brussels sprouts. I get them to the point where they're just starting to pop with buds, and then the bugs come. So this year I started them so early so I'd have a good start, and hoping that I can actually successfully grow Brussels sprouts and cauliflowers and broccoli. I really don't know why. I just can't get there. Some years I get a few, you know, every year I get a little something. I'll get a little broccoli, a little cauliflower. But the Brussels sprouts in particular, I have yet to actually grow them to the point where I was able to harvest them. Now, over here I wanted to show you, again, in a dollar store container. These are, I think they're King Richard leeks that I got from Botanical Interest. I grew these last year. You can leave them in the garden and you don't have to harvest them right away. So I'm getting full germination on these. Again, you guys, I sowed the seeds directly out here in the greenhouse, and I've let this container sit out here. It was on the floor for the cooler temperature, but you can see I'm getting really great germination. Now I'm going to take this leek and I'm going to plant them in between my tomatoes, and it will not only help to repel any pests, because the pests just do not like the fragrance that comes off the leaves, but they're good out there for good separators. It's a place to, you know, companion plant, and you can grow leeks with your tomatoes. So that's something that you might want to consider, and you can leave them in the garden for a very long time. Now in this little recycled container, I'm using this as a little mini greenhouse to start some Golden Beauty Chinese cabbage, Early Jersey Wakefield, and the love of my life, 1 kilo slow bolt Napas. Look how easy they grow. These are doing really well. They germinate super easy, and you know, you don't want to plant them out in the garden too early. So you can, you know, put them in a small container if you have a little greenhouse where you can keep them in a cool place. Just go ahead and get them started so that they're ready for spring. So the root system on this Dino Kale is also really beautiful. Now kale and these leafy greens are heavy feeders, so that's why I'm adding worm castings to the kale. I could probably do a little bit of a fertilizer in addition to it, but I like just giving it the bone meal and the worm castings, and that's it for the kale. So all of the broccoli and cauliflowers, when I pot these up, I'm going to give them a little bit of a fertilizer, some bone meal for the development of the flower itself, and some blood meal to help with the leafy green around it, so they'll get a good, a nice good structure. So these guys should have a nice head start by the time they're ready to go out within the next few weeks. We got to keep an eye on the weather. This is the fertilizer product I've been using with my up potting or potting up, whichever way you want to phrase it, things after I take them from seedling to up to a larger container. But you can see what the numbers are, what it does, and what I like about this is that you can really manage it well because it's in a pelleted form. So I'll just add some of these pellets to the bottom of the container mixed with bone meal, blood meal, and some worm castings into a cup. So I'm just going to take these guys here and get them moved up just into little solo cups, and I'm going to keep them out here in the greenhouse on the floor while they grow a little bit longer. So right now they're very, very dry, so I know that they're probably root bound. So I've just potted up the Yadfa broccoli into these containers, and it was very, very dry. The roots are really wrapped around, so they were ready to go. But I think they're going to thrive, even though it's only in the Kirkland hack for the solo cups. They're nice and big. They've got bone meal, blood meal, worm castings. Like I said, a little bit of the fertilizer went in there. This is just a nice little cocktail of things. So you can get this product at Lowe's or Home Depot or anywhere. These earthworm castings I'm getting from Costco. This product here I got from Lowe's, as well as the organic bone meal is the same brand as it's the Espoma. So anyway, tomorrow morning I will come out and finish all of this up after I'm done feeding the household. And I think these are all really going to thrive, even though it's only a small up potting. I just never cease to amaze myself at how beautiful I'm willing to get myself for you guys. So it's the real deal, everybody. We're all real people, and it can't be glamorous all the time, even though it's YouTube. So for me, it's not glamorous at all, ever. But anyway, so my days are frantic, you guys. There's a lot going on. I've sowed a lot of seeds that I'll be doing separate videos for, and I want to share every moment of it with you. So I'm hoping that you're going to join us along the way on the journey of the garden for 2024. Now, for those of you who are new here, my name is Leigh, and this is our backyard garden. We are located in Zone 7A. We are in northwestern Burlington County, New Jersey, the Garden State. We grow a lot of varieties, and this year it's going to be more than ever. Wait till you see some of the things I started sowing over the past couple days. So if you're interested in that, please subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video. And if you liked watching me pot up my brassicas, please give this a thumbs up, and stay with us. Please make some comments and talk to us. We want to get to know you. We absolutely love getting to know all of you. I've been wanting to say thank you to all of the new subscribers, some of you who said that you're newbies and this is your first garden ever. There is a lot to learn, and we want you to know from this channel that we all learn together. We are all on an even playing field, and we are only showing you what it is that we do. We're showing our successes and our failures, and that's the best way to learn. I can't say that I can really teach you anything. I can just show you what it is that I'm doing, and you know, maybe you will learn from that. So anyway, you guys, thanks again for stopping in on this video, and can't wait to hear from you guys. See you in the next video. Gardener's Manicure.